this video. This is episode 1. This one is called Racism is Not Personal, It's Just Business. And I call it the story of racism. So to explain where I got this concept from, basically, people use the word racism all the time, to the point now where it's almost getting misused, losing value, almost as people in the urban community use the N-word in a way to almost devalue it. I feel like people are accidentally misusing the term racism in that same practice. I am an African American. I've been living in America for 47 years as of just recently, and I can tell you, I know what racism is. I know what systematic bias is, but I also know what bigotry is, and I also know what just normal, safe prejudice is to protect your life. And I think we mix those things up. So I want to talk about racism today. The reason I called it Racism is Not Personal, It's Just Business is this. Pretty much, if you were in the 5th grade, they showed you something with 2 sets of flowers, the purple flowers and the white flowers. And it was talking about dominant and recessive genes. Well, technically, African Americans, people of color, are the purple flower with the dominant gene. My Caucasian brethren, my European brethren, they are the white flower, the recessive gene. That's why if you ever notice when one of our Caucasian brethren meet one of our, colored people, they have a mixed baby. The baby doesn't usually come out lighter, it comes out darker. So, this is when I came up with the story of racism. Because, you explain it like that. Wasn't that born? I born, dog. So, here's the reason I came up with the story of racism. And here it is. Here we go. This story. So, let's go back thousands upon thousands of years. Back to the Dark Ages. Back to when we were back in Africa chilling. We was like, oh my booty day. We was arguing between each other and whatnot. No, I will take 1 lion for 4 of your peaks and 7 of your wives. No, you give me your gun. No, okay, fine. We are going to war. I'm going to kill you all in slavery. Good, that's what we do. We were tribal. We didn't really fight amongst anybody. We just fought amongst ourselves, did our little thing, had our little discrepancies, right? Same things going on in Asia, same things going on in India, same things going on all over the world. Most of the more darker colors were more tribal, more earthbound, more style like that. So, my European brothers, since Europe, unlike the rest of these places, was cold and the smallest landmass of any landmass out of all the continents, they had no space. So Asia's huge, Africa's huge, the North America and South America's huge, the Arctic, everything else is huge. But the one thing that is not huge is Europe. Okay? So this... So this is a problem. So at first, like everybody else, they had their tribes, they wore, they had the Scottish, Braveheart, alright, cut your head off by, all that, whatever. I don't know why I sound like a pirate. That was the whole point. But they fought each other, they had problems, and then eventually you got the Robin Hood era. With the kings, sire, and he is the Duke of Dukington and the Earl of Poopington, these fools. It was ridiculous, right? So they did that. So they were conquering lands. The Earl took this land. The king took that land. The Duke took this land. Eventually, they ran out of land. Mind you, it's cold, the weather's bad, stuff doesn't grow that fast, it ain't too many animals around, it ain't too much stuff to do, so you kind of got to go with whatever you got and fight for your grind. Like, you don't eat out here, man, you going. Like in Africa, you don't eat this. I will just go over here and eat something else. That's Africa. Asia, I will just go over here. I'm not getting canceled on my first video. Anyway, the whole point is Europe was flooded, and then you got the Dark Ages. Now, you remember this is when all the knights and the kings were fighting each other. They were killing each other. They were fighting the Scottish and the Irish, basically making them the African Americans of Europe. At that time, they didn't like the Eastern Europeans either. They were the other African Americans of Europe. They didn't like, oh yeah, before black people, there was Eastern Europeans and Irish and Scottish. Yeah, they was the first real black people before they got to us. So anyway, They're doing the Dark Ages. They're fighting, they're killing each other, they're conquering each other, and whatnot. And of course, this is when Christianity came out. They loved Jesus, they loved God. And of course, in Africa and other countries, they were dealing with like Allah and Buddha and Judaism and things like that. So, of course, all the Europeans were smart because their resources are small. See, when you got a lot of resources and you got a lot of sun and room and gold everywhere, you don't think when something runs out to do something about it or get devious. But Europeans didn't have any space. So they was like, man, I'm out of space. I gotta do something. It's getting cold. I'm about to die on my keys, man. All right, I gotta figure something. But he's like, man, we all killing each other. This ain't gonna work. Oh, man, you just killed the Duke of Steve. Oh, come on, man. Yo, all right, hey. And then he stopped middle of the war. Middle of the war. They just fighting, clank, 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 and then he just comes running in. Hey, guys, stop. Like, guys, and then he just yells, stop it! And they just look at him and do, what the fuck? Bro, what the hell? I'm killing here. What's going on? He's like, dude, stop. I heard that there's these guys with a really good tan, about 3,000 miles this way. And you know what they said? What they say? You know, I don't really like those guys with a tan. Me neither. Yeah, it kind of remind me of Italians. I don't like them either. Anyway, yeah, they said their God Allah is better than our God. You know, the Father of Jesus Christ, our Savior. Yeah. They said their God is more powerful than our God. They do better. They talk about, we got math and libraries and built pyramids. We so much smarter than y'all. Just because we got castles and live in hay with naked, dirty people that don't wash. That don't mean nothing. Anyway, thank God for Hannibal. The point is, they was like, yo, what? You know, why we fighting each other? Let's go down there. You know what that was called? The Crusades. And that's when a bunch of Christians convinced a bunch of other Christians that the brothers and the Moors thought they was a bunch of bad mamma jammas and they had to get rid of them. So they go down there, I'm going to Crusades, Jews leaving their homes, they not messing with their mom, they like, mom, you know what? I got to go kill these brothers who said they God better than my God. Like, who these dudes think they is? You know what I mean? Who these boys think they are? So they all go down back there. They get to us. They start fighting and killing us, stealing all the gold and treasures and whatnot. We want for our God. And what the guy figured out was, all right, well, let's take some stuff. Now we got resources. Now we got plenty. We don't have to fight with each other no more. Because now we got all these guys with these tan and all these lands that we're conquering to fight with over religion and color and stuff like that. But it wasn't really truly official. It was more like a religion beef. One a color beef. Color just happened to be part of the party. It was religion beef and whatnot. And that's why they didn't like a lot of the Scottish and the Irish. And they were more like pagan instead of Christianity, so forth and so on. So anyway, they get down there. They finally start kicking a little butt. You know, and you know how my European brothers there. You've seen every movie you've ever seen about something in the 1800s to 1400s. There was always some European dude. It'd be the middle of an Asian war, and there's some European dude in the back. I come here, yeah, it's tea time. It's like it's the middle of an Asian war in 1400 with samurais. Why you there? Bunch of Africans, like shaka, boom, 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 boom. European dude in the cut. Wakanda, European dude in the cut. Always a European dude in the cut. Pay attention to that when you watch any movie about history. There's always some European dude back there like, I will trade you guns and spices for everyone in your family. And they're like, yeah, that sounds cool. I want to beat this guy next to me. That's what they do, right? So, they get it to this point, and they start raping, pillaging, taking people down, grabbing the wives, killing the husbands, taking the women, having intercourse with the women and whatnot because they want to spread their seed amongst the places that they're conquering. And one of the guys, just like, I think he must have been a cousin of the same guy from the Dark Ages about 100 years ago. So one of the guys, he's doing his thing. He's, just chopped the head off. Killed an old lady. I'm doing my thing. Doing my little thing. Everything is going down, right? And then he was like, he looked at one of his kids that were recently born and he realized his kid had a really great tan. And he was just like, Pause 1 second. A shucky ducky, quack quack. Wait a minute. Oh, let me get this knife out. Sink. All right, I'll kill you more later. Guys, stop! He yells, stop! No, just stop! And then his boy Steve be going in. Steve over there just getting his pilly joint. He's like, oh, what you want, man? He's like, yo, stop. He's like, why you want me to stop? I got like 3 strokes left, bro. He's like, no, stop right now and get over here and talk to me. And he gets the rest of the guys together. He's like, yo, huddle up. All the barbarian home, all they all come in to the little huddle and whatnot. And it's the same dude. He must be the grandson of the guy that taught everybody back in the Dark Ages, right? He's like, yo, you ever notice after we conquer like a country, kill all the men, impregnate the women, years go by, and they kind of look just like the guys we killed. I just stabbed a guy that looks like my newborn son. Interesting. Guys, I got some bad news. Have you ever noticed, no matter where we go, Asia, India, the Americas, wherever it is, everybody's kids come out the same, even though we take their money and everything, right? Dude. Oh my God. Oh, guys, dude, I think there's magic in their dicks. No bull, bro. No, like, dude, look at it. Look at this. Look like he just pulls up a little black baby. Like, this is my son. The baby is as dark as me. Yeah. He like, man, where's your son? Dark. His other son, he got a light-skinned one, but he's still honey brown and whatnot. They call him white boy on the yard. It's like a terrible thing that kids of color do. But that's a whole nother situation. Anyway, they realize it. They freak out and they said, oh my God, we got to build some kind of structure. We got to do something to keep these guys from having intercourse with our daughters, because if they do, eventually over time there will be no more of us. Fact in the middle of the talk. Did you know in America by 2050, my Caucasian brethren are going to be the minority? In a couple thousand years, there's going to be almost no Caucasians left because everybody's mixing in. So this is when true supremacy racism started. It wasn't personal. It was business, because they had to keep control of what they took control of, because they had to go back to crappy Europe if they didn't. So they was like, okay, we got to build a structure in all these places to convince everybody that I'm better and they're bad. And I got to convince my daughter, don't you like that boy at your school? Don't you like that dark boy? They had to convince her of that, so they built this whole system of family structures and pride and bigotry and all these structures of status and economics and race and religion and mainly color as the basis of all of this, to convince you to not deal with each other, all because they're afraid we're going to mix in one day. And that's where you get your supremacists, you get those W power groups that we know about and all those kind of things, the January 6ers, as they call them, the Tiki tortures and all of that. So guys, that is the story of racism. So if you never understood racism, I know you understand it now. So next time you think somebody's being racist or bigoted towards you or being overly prejudiced, just remember, it's not personal, baby. It's just business. CBCC, be out.
I still rock and make